I'm only laughing because the absolute unrealism here. And I know I'm watching a movie about an alien that comes to Earth during the 17th century, let's say, give or take. But that pistol there is designed to kill horses. It fires, I believe, a 50 to a 67 caliber musket ball, and that's like lead. That is pure lead at that range. Even if it had a protective face covering, the sheer impact and velocity of just that projectile hitting in the head, even if it is like made out of like titanium composite horse shit, you're still gonna feel that, and there's still gonna be brain damage. If you want to wonder why, there's a reason why they don't have Kevlar like face masks, and the military did try for a while. Um, and they had this one. It stopped a 44 caliber bullet that would attach to the bottom of the helmet. The only problem is, a 44 caliber bullet has a really high velocity, and yeah, it stopped the 44 Magnum. But they discovered that the percussive force of it hitting the bulletproof vest or the bulletproof face mask, that it would still break someone's neck. So it would stop the bullet, but the force of the bullet impacting would your head would still violently go, and it was enough to kill. Um, and I know it's just like suspension of disbelief, and by all means, Prey is not like as shitty as a movie as people are making it out to be. But when the Predator takes shots to the head better than Muhammad Ali, that's impressive. And there's a second scene where the Predator does get shot again from the back, and it goes through with a smaller caliber pistol, I believe. That's still a chunk of lead traveling through its head at that close of range. It would be, if even if it's an alien like a Yautja from a planet with heavier gravity, uh, the physics would still drop that thing quicker than anything, and it just no cells this to the back of the head. So as far as bad things about that movie, that's my only complaint about this movie. It's just it's kind of stupid at times, but then again, we're watching a Predator movie, so most of them are mildly retarded. I'm gonna say I'm not really. Of course, I forgot I was eating chips earlier. Fuck. So they're entertaining dumb movies, but I will give this for the Predator 2. It's cool. The Predator you see in the movie is an actual guy in a suit, so they went back to formula. So again, by all means, not a terrible movie. It's not my kind of movie, but I would say it's above average. Aside from the scenes, and there is one scene where the Predator forgets its arm is stuck in a tree, and it moves a shield that chops off its own arm. And that's the thing I don't get. Uh, there's these predators have developed technology to travel vast distances in space, but yet it forgets its arm is stuck in a tree and it breaks off its own arm. Like, come on. And not only that, it's just it's silly. The premise is just silly, but it's better than the last AVP or the last Predator. Predators? And I'll quit bitching after this one more point. As someone who's hunted quite a few times through my life, the earliest time I remember hunting was with my dad at the age, I think it was the age of 6, and it was early in the morning, and we heard a mountain lion in the valley. And it scared the shit out of us because it's early in the morning, you can't see shit, it's pitch black, and we climbed a tree because, well, if there's a mountain lion out there, it's gonna have to climb the tree to get us. So all three of us climbed up a tree. And there's one thing about this movie that I find particularly hilarious is the predator is always screaming and making a commotion. That's why the first Predator movie was so terrifying, is because it didn't make any noise. It only made noise when it was injured or when it was trying to instill fear. And that's, I think, the original Predators for me. I remember seeing that movie when I was young. And it was terrifying because the predator, you knew it was there, but the heroes of the film couldn't see it. And that stalking, subtle nature was more terrifying than this one in this movie. In this movie, they had the predator still have some of those stealth aspects, but they made it more of a like Jason Voorhees, like Friday the 13th kind of creature where it just stalks and kills people, which is fine, not complaining. Like other reviewers have said, there's creative kills and the way how people get gored, it's quite entertaining. So if you're one of these gore hounds or a sick bastard like me that just wants to see people get like, you get the picture. Um, so yeah, that's my other only complaint is they should have like played it more from Predator, the first one. But yeah, this thing's making too much fucking noise to be an effective hunting, killing machine. And especially when you're hunting, you don't want to be making a shitload of noise like ergo, like this fucking thing in this movie. It's like, always screaming shit. It's like, it's not how hunting works. But yeah, altogether, those little parts, the story is cool. It is one hell of an entertaining movie, far above average. So this part of the video is just additional opinion about the movie. And for as many people that were complaining that this is a woke piece of garbage, um, it really restrained itself. The director was more focused on the story, the plot, and elements within the movie than versus a political message. For a movie that's supposed to be so woke, they sure went a long way around and kind of avoiding it. I think the director just wanted to make an entertaining Predator movie, and Dan Trachtenberg uh, certainly does do that. The writers, oh no, story by, based on, okay. And all the actors did a fine job, especially some of the Comanche ones, for not being in a film. Uh, Recently, I think they used legitimately. So that was cool. It added an authenticity to the characters. What would have been cooler is if they dropped them speaking English. Like other reviewers have said, it would be cool. I guess they do have a Comanche version, and that would have just been more badass with subtitles and shit. But I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I like authenticity like that. Not a lot of people like reading subtitles, but like some of the greatest movies I have seen in my life were foreign films with subtitles. Just saying. There is one little stupid message that didn't really make sense. Is there's a scene where they show like a whole herd of buffalo and they're all skinned, and the evil French trappers have just taken their fur, which for this time and this era that'd be stupid, especially trappers, mountain men. I have a family friend that is a mountain man, and they wouldn't do that shit because that'd be wasteful. They would use practically every part of these animals, especially in a place that's like, let's say, in Montana or like West Texas or wherever this is supposed to take place with the Comanche, is that no one would be that wasteful. Because, a lot of Hollywood people and dipshits think hunters are, oh, I'm just here for the skins and the trophy. But really, it's more complex. Hunting is more complex. It's about the game, and it's more about conservation of various species. Most hunters, decent hunters and marksmen, will care for the species. They won't overhunt, or they'll certainly use every part of the animal. So in this part of the film where they kind of showed these Frenchmen as kind of like, oh, we're just gonna take the furs, is it's just inaccurate, especially if they're like French mountain men. That's just would be unheard of in the 17th century. Again, especially in a region that's supposed to be colder than balls in the winter. Um, that's just stupid. So for a movie that's supposed to be a woke piece of garbage, it sure went a long way around avoiding that, which I appreciate, and that's why I'm gonna recommend this movie. And yeah, the main character's a 90-pound woman, whatever, but she kind of outsmarts the predator in this movie in various ways. Some I've already, covered and shown here. So that was cool. They did that. They didn't do this like, horse shit like Atomic Blonde, where it's a 90-pound woman just beating the shit out of 200-pound dudes like it's nothing. Now that would have been stupid, but she outsmarts the thing. She at one point she even lures it into some quicksand, I think, and it like falls in there. So she outsmarts it, and that's one thing that's kind of cool that they did versus. Her being like a total Mary Sue and then like hacking it to bits with a tomahawk. They could have done that. So for a film that a lot of people are saying is woke garbage, it really isn't. There's that one scene with the buffalo herd that's incorrect, but other than that, it's a pretty solid film. And as much as I complained about it and pointed out and like hammered in on the stuff about muskets of the era and shit, um, it's a fine, entertaining movie. I would recommend it. I think I saw on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, you can probably catch it there, or you could probably catch it on Blu-ray or Amazon at some point. But yeah, all around decent movie. I recommend it. It does have creative kills and gore, so if that's your shtick, you'll love this movie. And again, not a total bad or terrible movie. Slight above average even. So with that, I'll end this video here. Leave a like, leave a dislike, comment your thoughts below about this movie, and I'll see you guys next time.